If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, that's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets and hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super understand a song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we coming in and we taking all the money.
Just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us.
Just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
Just
they wanna
cash.
limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. Love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash.
Just cash.
Keep
So
the applause
angry.
going. Keep
So
the applause.
angry.
Yeah. We like that. We like that excitement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. What's good, fam? Welcome back. You already know what time it is. It's just cash, baby. Join with Underrated. What's good, man? How are you? And how was your off day?
Just cash.
Great. Great. I'm great. My off day was great. And my other day is great. And our Sunday was great. And our Saturday was great. Our Friday can eat shit. But hey, you can't win them all. You just got to win the more. You got to win more than you lose. And that's what we're going to do. Let's continue. Bing.
Yeah, I mean, ended up pretty solid over the weekend. You know, as you said, Friday could have been a little bit better, but still, you know, even with a couple of hiccups this last week, we ended on the positive note. So can't be mad. Rounding 70 units for the season, man. I'm super excited. You know, really our second year just covering this, and we had a hell of a step up from last year. So super excited. Things went really well for us thus far. We got Sweet 16 left to go. So kind of interesting, you know, with the scheduling, basically having Monday through, you know, Wednesday off is a bit interesting. But I think with that being said, you know, Mondays might be a little bit subject to streaming, but I think Tuesday through Fridays should still be real solid. And, you know, we're only a month and a half away from WNBA season as well. So we'll get that ramping up, and, you know, who knows, maybe we'll even do some NPB streams, kind of mix it up a little bit with that starting off. Was that Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Nice. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I know we got soccer still going strong, MLB getting ready to kick off here after spring training's over with. So there's a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of other sports that'll be going on as well. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that like button down below. We appreciate the support as always. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those noties on, and don't forget to be a part of the Discord. It's where you're going to get all this good early access. And missing out on bumps has been unfortunate. You know, like our first play here, Underdog already took it down. So make sure you guys check it out. So running 7-day free trials, no commitment. Come in and win some money for us. Or win some money with us, not for us. with us.
You can win some money for us, too, if you want. No problem.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we'll take donations all day, but with us is the objective here. So with that being said, we got a couple plays to talk about. I know some of this stuff will probably regurgitate the next 2 days or so, just with how the slate is. You know,
Regurgitate?
yeah, it's gonna be a couple of the same things, but that's okay. You know, at least we'll know early in advance what our value's looking like, and I do expect to see some of these plays either not there or the payout just to kind of push into the ground. So without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and hop into it. If you guys got any comments, questions, anything like that, make sure and throw them down there and we'll get to them. think today is more just going to be kind of chill and vibes, and we'll go through the plays here, not really ad nauseum, but again, we're going to be talking about this tomorrow as well. So just kind of bear with us. I think tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit of WNBA offseason, kind of what our scope as a whole looks like, and where some of these objective deadlines are going to be. I know this next month is going to be real crazy, but we still got a lot of stuff going on. I think the first two important pieces really going to be the two expansion teams getting their select picks that they have for that, and then everyone locking in their core plays or core players for the season. We'll see the draft after that, and then free agency also. We should see a lot of stuff with that. I think there is realistically 75 or so notable players, but there's basically over 100 players that were going to be free agents this year. So really curious to see what kind of happens with that. I know a couple of the stars for the teams are already getting kind of locked down. Your Asia Wilsons, BZ, et cetera, et cetera. But there's still a lot of big name characters that are not committed yet anywhere. So I'm super excited to see what happens with that. And also having just two new teams under our belt is going to be pretty sweet. So a lot of stuff's going to be going on, a lot of stuff over this next month and a half. So make sure you guys be a part of the Discord. And yeah, man, I think that's about it for right now. So let's hop into it. If you guys are ready, let's talk about big JP under 20.5 PRA. It was one of our first plays.
Wait. Before you go, sorry to cut you off, sir, but before you go, can you explain why the heck there's so many unders that you guys do? Why is there so many under? I'm looking at this the first time I've ever seen you guys, and I'm looking at the screen and like, where's the overs? What's going on?
Yeah, the overs have been a bit of a cat and mouse game here lately. I think the way that we played this season was honestly perfect, and something that I hope you and I can really adapt with WNBA coming up as well. But
I can't wait.
I think honestly, man, taking the overs really only made sense during the regular season, and for really just a couple of reasons. So obviously we tried a couple of overs here in the postseason, haven't worked out so well for us. I think we're like 1-4 on the overs as far as that goes, but it's much easier to root for somebody to fail, or not even fail, just for them to have an average game. And we saw this a lot, Burries, for example, the guy had all the opportunity in the world and just wasn't able to convert, missing a free throw here, missing a free throw there, and he hooked with his point line. So I think honestly, the two best ways to attack the overs is one, for the obvious, if there's an injury, player usage and all that stuff gets shaken up. And, that usually makes sense to take an over. Somebody else is going to soak up that usage. Somebody else is going to have to step up scoring wise or, passing, whatever their position is. But that one, honestly, I think on the surface makes the most sense. If there's a player out, things are going to be different. Lines aren't going to be adjusted. So that being one thing. And then two, whenever we see a player either take over a new role or get just a different, kind of free reign for the team, if you will. We had a couple players this college basketball season where, low-key, we were on them. We kind of looked at them, they had a good game here. And then you circle back to them the next slate and you're like, okay, they had another good game here. And then going down the rabbit hole, you're like, okay, now we're seeing X, Y, and Z's happening. This player clearly, like Darius Acuff, he was a player who we played a lot this season, and somebody who we haven't played really any in the postseason just because his lines are unbelievably high. But we were talking about him 2 months ago, for example, whenever we saw his PA was at 26.5, and on the surface, he was just over, I think, 60%, give or take, like that. But it was one of those players you're like, this might not be a high enough line for him. Like this could be still potentially way too low. And he came through for us. It was an easy play, good matchup, picking your battles like that. But honestly, man, I mean, these unders, especially in the postseason, have been spectacular. We've had a couple of bad beats, the overtime, obviously games like that are going to kill us or potential kill us. But there's been several times where somebody goes out, they just have an average game, and the lines being too high, they just come up just shy of that. So it's been a lot more fruitful for us to take this approach to it, especially in the postseason. So if you guys got some overs, I will say there's some low hanging fruit. You got your Keaton Wagler at 14.5 points on various sites. That's a real low line, but for good matchup or for good reason for the matchup, they're going up against Houston. So
Yeah.
I do think there's, some still overs to be had, but by and large, you look at a lot of these games, there's really just a few of these guys that are getting there, and most of them aren't really, hitting that marker. And especially for some of these games that we're targeting, like the Nebraska game, for example, we're talking a 133.5 total. Like, that's unbelievably low just by any standards. But for both of these teams, that's just screaming and under, and Iowa too, for that matter. They play really, really slow. So it just makes sense in that game that there is going to be unders. And if you're looking at some of these players, they're just setting their lines at their usual season averages or their last 5 lookies, basing it off of that. And some of that easier matchups, some of it tougher matchups, and some of it's just like the lines maker literally just got up here, found the dude's season average and slapped that up there and then called it a day. So we're going to take advantage of that.
Yeah. No, you hit that on the head, bro. Long-winded, yet very important. Very, very important, man. Like the number one thing I think personally too, obviously you got to have experience with a lot of stuff and it takes time to see the spots with the value, but there's so much more undervalue than overvalues. And we already know. Everyone wants to take the overs. Bookies know that's where the value is not going to be. So it's as simple as that, bro. And then you find the right defenses, et cetera, et cetera. We figured out now. We really honed down what our favorite plays are with these unders, and the chance of these unders hitting are so nice, so nice. I can't even explain how nice. And they're gonna be long-term profit 100% unless they change what they're doing now. We found a little loophole here. So anyone here listening, if you're new here or if you've been here, there's ways to win, guys. 2 picks on underdog. They're giving us 3.5x. These unders are gonna hit. We will win. Not financial advice. Can't guarantee it because YouTube doesn't like that. But I'm gonna say I have a very high conviction that this will be a positive thing to do. And Q Donkey is here with 2 more plays to look at as well. And he has been coming with some smack unders too. I feel like he's looking at the same thing we're looking at. We got another couple people that's been around dropping bombs in the chat too. So anyone out there who has any plays you want to look at, drop them in the chat and let's get it.
All right. Yeah, let's hop into it. What was that? Phylon and Trayvon Mark. Phylon PRA, just so we don't have to circle back to this real fast. All right, cool. Q.
Julio.
Okay, let's start it off with big JP and Tennessee hosting ISU. And we know this is a scary matchup, especially scary inside the paint. Yes, I know they are going to be more than likely without Josh Jefferson. A pretty decent chance he's still going to end up being out for this, but who knows? They got a full week of rest underneath the belt now, so we could be getting news maybe a little bit different heading towards this slate, but we'll circle back to that when we get that news. But outside of that, still very difficult matchup, and we saw them play still really well this last game. Struggled a little bit in the first half, but closed the game out in good fashion. So I think, back to business here. This also a player who plays very volatile amount of minutes. We saw this last game. Yes, it was also a very difficult matchup. So I think Virginia, a comparable one for us here. But he only played 20 minutes and very low volume shooter. Yes, I know he got us in this Miami-Ohio matchup where he just scored really well and coach ended up playing a lot more minutes. But 14 points for him, still a bit of a stretch. Yes, he's gone out and put up a couple of reasonable scoring games this season, but still, again, with the rest time they have, I think Nate Ahmet is going to be needed a lot more this matchup. They are going to need that scoring from him. He looked a lot better this last game, so I will give him credit for hopefully being closer to healthy. But again, for Tennessee, they just rotate a lot of these guys like Estrella, Okpara, the backup guy, I can't even think of his name. He just plays not really meaningful minutes, but coaches has been really adamant about rotating a lot of these guys. So you can see the volatile minutes all over the place all season long for him. But again, just not a great matchup. He's not a 3-point shooter in the slightest, so you're not really willing much upside in that regard. Really, the best thing for him is the offensive putbacks, which, I mean, we saw the game before. Again, high scoring, 10 rebounds. He had a lot of offensive putbacks and a couple of free throws there too, which I think he ended up going over in the second half, but his first half pacing was just way too well in this matchup. But saw the last game, only put up 10 points, 5 boards, 1 assist. Very similar thing. Slow pace, slow matchup. I don't have a total in front of me, but I'm going to guess it's either 140 or below. Let's take a gander at that real fast.
I like taking ganders.
Yeah, give it the old sneaky peek. Yeah, look at this. Another low and slow, 138.5. So exactly what we're expecting here. Neither one of these teams really playing at a fast pace. I like me some Iowa State, man. They have been just so good to us on opposing players going under their markers. But, this is the same exact situation here. I don't think anything's different. Estrella also live for just random foul trouble, too. That's something he struggled with in the matchups where there's really good opposing bigs on the other side. Should have his hands full here. And, if he's not getting these offensive putbacks, the dude's really, really struggled. So I like it. I'm still banking on him playing somewhere between 20 and 25 minutes. I'd be hard-pressed to think he's going to play another 28, 29 minutes. Those are also nice kind of pace-up matchups, too, scoring-wise as well. So I just don't see it here, man. I don't see it. The best thing that's they're giving up is assists, and this dude does not make in the slightest. I mean, we saw a couple here, but on a normal day, he's probably getting 1 assist at best. I highly doubt we're going to see 2 or more. So not much upside in that regard. The rebounds, very spiky. I think, honestly, this is what we're probably going to end up sweating the most out of his potential upside. He can get pretty good on the glass. But, again, this is with Nate. He was being hurt this game. We saw Nate come back the last game, play his normal thing. So somewhere between this, 6 to 7 rebounds, I think is probably pretty solid for him. If he gets 8 or more, cool. But still, I think the points in scoring-wise for him is going to be real difficult. But overall, I will play any line that is a 70+% hit rating. So also the fact that Underdog ended up taking him down, I think is pretty telling as well. They don't even have his PRA option, or at least they didn't earlier.
No, they don't. They don't. You can go to Hot Streak and alt up his PR, but they don't have PRA anymore.
Yeah. So I think the 17.5 PR is pretty much the best option left. So if you guys missed it, can't stress it enough, be part of the Discord. We posted that, one night ago or the night before?
Yeah, the night before, right after the last game. Because I noticed he only played 20 minutes. I noticed Nate got more time. That's huge for us. And I think that's what bookies noticed too. And that's why they removed his PRA. So, they throw the props up after the games are over quick because they know people want to get back into it and they don't want to stop yet. So it's perfect timing for us to catch some of these little values here. So I think hopefully with Nate, like you said, is more healthy. We'll go back to Estrella like Hugh Donkey brought up. I think 3 games ago, I want to say we skipped one of the games because he got us. But he got us because Nate was still injured. And I think Nate's a lot better. We'll have a way better chance here. Estrella plays less. We love the matchup. We love the pace. It's all there. It's way too high. We altered it up. I mean, just to be safe, get some good value still on Underdog and made it happen. But, it's not there anymore. Like you said, you got to join Discord. Definitely get the early value. I'm trying to look right now on if he finished the game on the court. And because that's kind of interesting too sometimes. I believe he did. So he might have a few more minutes because he did get in foul trouble. He had 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes. So there's that to be a little wary of too. But still like to play.
Yeah, man. I think it's honestly still just a really solid play. And for the kind of hit rating that we're getting for it too, I got to have, I think, more faith in Nate coming out playing another 29, 30-plus minutes like he did this last game. And with him having so much time off, hopefully Nate being able to get a chance to heal a little bit more here and there, I think just going to take away even more usage from him. So, yeah, I mean, again, dude's been a little bit handsy. This is not going to be an easier matchup for him in any regards. So, bro's going to have to show me.
Oh, this dude, this is actually a little bit more of a red flag that I'm noticing. He got He got 2 fouls in 5 minutes and did not play one more second of the first half. Still ended with 20. So something to be cautious of there. Now that it's too late to really play it anyways, but I definitely wouldn't reach anymore. If you don't have it in, I wouldn't reach too far for it now. Just from that moment, just from seeing that.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, again, with the line being taken down, it's going to be a little bit harder to get this good value. I do want to kind of wait and see, because I did see they have his points juiced a little bit. So I am curious if they're going to move him up to 11.5 points. If they end up doing that, we should get a better payout on this 13.5 line. So kind of keep an eye out for that if his lines end up moving.
All right. And Ayo's here.
Ayo, what's good, man?
He says, take a gander. He's here to take a gander. He's here to take some ganders with us. So we're going to gander on now to the next one. TKR. Under again. He likes that sweat. He likes that scary fourth quarter moments. He likes that feeling. He lives for it. Yeah. I mean, hey, we saw what he did this last game. Yes, he did unfortunately go over his regular 28.5 line, but we had that 30.5 and he ended up staying just under for us. But also, way more production in the first half than expected. I mean, I don't know what the hell Miami was doing. They did not throw really any kind of doubles at him, especially whenever he started off. I think he had he had 9 PRA in 4 minutes. And coach just would not double him at all in the first half. Thankfully, they switched it up in the second half and started throwing a lot more help coverage at him. But he was just pacing way too much in the first half, and the second half played out really normal. But Texas been pretty decent, I will say. They are giving up some scoring to power forwards. So I think first and foremost, probably our biggest red flag is we're just sweating his real points. But you got to look at this, though. I mean, this is another player. They have him at 19.5 points, which is honestly just unbelievable. I mean, where the hell are you getting this line at? Dude has only gotten this in 5 games so far this season. So this is a dramatic increase, and this is 5.5 points, honestly, higher than his season average. So this is one of those head scratchers, but I think bookies do know. Real good chance he goes out and scores 20 points today. For this matchup, would not be surprised in the slightest. But where I do think we wield the most upside or downside as it is the rebound rating. Now, this is something that Texas has really addressed over the last month now, and they are crippling many of the power forwards and centers. I mean, there's only been a couple of guys who've been able to get there. But by and large, I mean, they're really holding their own against a lot of these players. I mean, they've only allowed 1 double-digit rebound over the last month now. And you look at some of these guys, they're this is the forward. This isn't even the power forward. But some of this more recent production, I mean, they're allowing 5 and 6 rebounds a game to most of the power forwards and centers. So a lot of downside there to be had for him. And also the assists, that's something that he's been a little bit spiky with throughout the season. But it's come back down to earth. Braden's going through his little run right here. Also, Fletcher Lawyer facilitating a little bit. And Oscar, for that matter, he's been playmaking a little bit more. So I think this probably looking at 2 assists here, the rebounds somewhere in the 8 to 9 range at best. I'd be very surprised if he got 9 rebounds, I'll be honest. But 8 rebounds, 2 assists, give us 10 RA, and then he goes out and puts up 20 points. Still looking at 30 PRA. I will say I do also like the regular PRA line. I'm not mad at the 31.5 at all. Basically the same hit rating, only 1 game different sample size, but still totally fine with that. It is available in Underdog, and even the 31 flat is totally fine on Prize Picks. But for the good payout we're getting, the 33.5 did make the most sense. Played a little bit safer on Underdog, but we digress. I like them all, like them both. And if bro goes out and gets 2 early fouls, it's going to be all but over. Yeah. That's why these are so fun to do, because it's these lines are so high. Dude got to have the best game, one of the best games that you would imagine he could have to beat us. And I love it. Like you said, foul trouble, done. Misses a couple early shots and doesn't shoot again till, he's 10 minutes in and he only has 2 points. Pretty much done. There's just so many ways to win here. So I love it. 31.5 though. Do you like that on other sites? Say you don't have Underdog. 31 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just to kind of reiterate that the 31 and a half a regular line on Underdog, and I think it's on Sleeper as well. Let me see. Maybe it's just Underdog now.
Do you think it's going to bump down, or do you think it's going to stay around?
It's going to bump down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to get that 31 and a half. If you guys want to get in on that action and you don't want to go to Underdog and you want a full payout, you can single bet this if you have some, whatever, DraftKings, 365, whatever. But I think I'm going to try to do that. If I can find that PRA, I'm really wanting to bet that. What's up?
Thank you for bringing up 365. Actually, I completely forgotten about that. So just recently added on 365, they added basically all the props. They have PRA, PR, PARA, all that stuff, not only as an option, but they have options for the over and the under, which is huge because we know how kind of dried up that well is for the unders, especially for straight betting. I mean, you basically just have PR as your only option, and that was pretty much just on FanDuel. So the fact that they have PRA and all the other stuff available for unders is massive. So you can get him on 365. He's 31 and a half. Played it last night. I think his points also are 19 and a half on there too. But yes, I do like the 31 and a half. By all means, I will have that in some personal plays too. You pair it with the tacos, on your prize picks. 31's totally fine there. I do think his points are definitely going to be the first thing that bumps down. 19 and a half is just unbelievably high. You can see already the juice pretty heavy for the under here. The rebounds, I think, stay the same. I don't think they'll bump him up to 9.5 rebounds. I'd be really, really shocked if they did. But we could see some trade-off here because, they do have the assist kind of juice for the over and the rebounds slightly juice for the over. So there is a real world maybe he bumps up, but I highly doubt it, man. I can't imagine they move him over this 31 and a half marker, but I do think the points come back down to 18 and a half.
No, they will for sure. I'm looking on Props Builder and this other site, and they're both 18 and a half already, so it's definitely coming down.
Yep. So get it in right now. FanDuel also had his points. Oh no, did they move it? Damn, did he go to 18 and a half there too? Yeah, he did. FanDuel had it up to 19 and a half last night. So, okay, yeah. And you can see Sleeper already moved him down to 30 and a half PRA as well. So, not going to be shocked at all if he bumps down.
Yeah, love that play. He showed us how he could get that done last year, and he's had a few games where he has got it done this year. But, if you're going to try to take a bet and take one side, this is definitely the side to be on. The under feels real good. Definitely second best play on the board, I think, after old Estrella. But now that I see Estrella was in foul trouble, I kind of put them at about the same.
Yeah, so, you want to move him underneath TKR?
I think maybe TKR might be the one. He's just too high. He can go crazy and make us look dumb, but chances of that are pretty slim. So I'm with it.
And traditionally, throughout most of the season, Texas was typically your guards, primo du jour upside. We picked on them a lot throughout the season, especially the point guard role. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Braden take a step forward here scoring wise as well. And it's a really good matchup for Lawyer too. So wouldn't be shocked either one of those guys get active. And also Oscar. Shout out to Big Clough. He's been playing really well lately. I know this last game he only played like 22 or 25 minutes or something like that. Got into a little bit of foul trouble, but he's live to go up and put up double-digit scoring any given night too. So this matchup pace and everything's nothing too crazy. 148.5 total I think is pretty fair, but not the easiest RA spot. So I think honestly, man, as long as he's not going out and putting up 25 points or something like that, we should be totally fine.
And we're at 10 likes. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's get 5 more. Good luck. Build our good luck up for this week. I feel a sweet coming on.
Hey, I just looked at our last 3 live streams. We had 20 likes on the last one. Well, that's probably why we did pretty nice on Saturday and Sunday. So that's what's up.
Yeah, man. The weekend was great. The weekend was definitely great. So make sure you guys tap in. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We appreciate every single one of y'all hanging out with us throughout the week. And again, WNBA is going to be here before y'all know it, man. We're going to really ramp up.
You said a month and a half?
month and a half. No, or May 8th.
We got some time then. We got some time. Okay. All right. Okay, cool.
All right, well, let's keep it rolling. Next up, we got the big Sam Hoya, and under 5.5 assists. Another line. This line I definitely think is going to end up bumping down. I mean, there's not too much crazy difference between the 4.5 and the 5.5 as far as the over hit rating. We can see who's at Fliff already has it. DraftKings bumped it down. I do expect this line to end up moving to 4.5 sooner than later. PrizePicks got it down to 5 already, but yeah, 5.5 just way too high. Again, this matchup extremely extreme. Oh, the total even bumped down. It's 132.5 now. So yeah, slow on both sides. But these two teams already played in the regular season twice. As it is, first game he only put up 5 assists. In the second game, which Nebraska scored way more. I mean, they had 32 more points scored, and he only put up 2 assists somehow. So kind of taking a backslide there, a little bit weird, but still, all in all, I'm just way too high of a marker. I mean, you look at the teams that he's found more recent success in. You got your Vanderbilt here, which we know is a huge pace up, as you can see with the higher total that they put up. Penn State, I mean, that one's honestly just kind of a joke. We know that's a perfect matchup for him, but really, kind of struggled throughout the season. The only kind of surprise I would say was Minnesota. A little bit surprised to see him pick up 7 assists, but they also ended up beating them by 19 points. So the game probably just ended up getting away from him there and, flourished a little bit down the stretch, but still not Mr. Consistent at all. I mean, we haven't had a single consecutive game of him getting 6 or more assists this season. The pace down, everything across the board, just not really boding for a lot of success. And, you look at a lot of these recent playmakers, and we really haven't had anybody at a 5.5 line. I mean, and also not seeing anybody get 6 or more assists. Lawrence was the only more recent one, ended up putting up 6 against them, and then Nick Boyd had a season high performance. I believe he went for a triple-double that game, or he was pacing for a triple-double. Obviously, with the 3.5 line, him getting 10 is quite the anomaly. But you look at a lot of these guys, man, and I'm seeing some low numbers, and from a couple of reasonable playmakers, too, at that. Bruce only put up 3, Mobley at 3. I mean, you got Boogie, only was able to get 4. Ended up going over his line, but still, only able to get 4 in that matchup. Just not a lot of meat on the bone, if you will. Yes, he does play pretty high minutes, but I think this is another matchup where they're going to need his scoring upside a little bit more. They really struggled in a couple of these last games here as far as being able to put it away. And we know he can go out and put up double-digit points. So I think that trade-off as far as playmaking to scoring kind of sees a nice even keel here. And just I just don't see it, man. I mean, with that pace in total, if they go out and put up 70, 75 something points, then maybe we're sweating it. But we've seen Iowa really clamp down on the defense, and they're bringing the pace to a crawl, if you will. But all in all, I think it's a solid look. 5.5 just way too high for him, and we are going to take that under. So again, I'm going to play anything that's over a 70% hit rating, especially in a good matchup like this.
Especially in a slow matchup and a wonderful time to cheer against poor Sammy H. And we are at 11 likes now. E, let's go.
I
have another play too. I want to look at, and I actually like it more than I thought I did, but you and Coach were actually talking about it this morning, but we can bring that up a little bit later when we look at Q Donkey's plays. As of now, you want to switch over to the other side with, you're looking at Phylon? I was going to say you want to go to Old Masty.
Yeah. Since we're in this game already, let's talk about him. We're just going to touch on him and Cam real fast. We got two sides of the coin here. Big Masty, who just still, man, he just hasn't looked the same since this little injury lull that he had. Offense is honestly kind of moving away from him. You got your Hoiberg, your Sanford, both of those guys putting up a reasonable scoring number. And also Fragler off the bench. He's been playing a little bit well the last 2 games especially. This team just distributes the ball way too much. There's just too many mouths to feed on the team as a whole. Even Lawrence, honestly, I know you were on his rebound unders this last game, which he did stay under, I will add. they play too much team ball here, and Sanford especially. He's been really taking a lot more field goal attempts. So not the easiest matchup. He will be squaring off against Cam and Fulgu and Tavion Banks on the other side. But for Mast, if it's not about the 3-point shooting, which is something, even though he's done better in the last couple games, the rebounding, I mean, crashing down to earth for him, not really something, that he's thrived at in any portion of the second half of the season. Kind of funny to also see his line be at 5.5 because he was like 6.5, 7.5 during the stretch here. But the playmaking for him really kind of all over the place. Kind of surprised to see him with 7 assists here and still ended up missing out on that. Sorry. He just went over on that PRA line. But that was with 7 assists. I mean, dude is not even close to having 7 assists throughout the season. So, again, downside for that, downside for the rebounds in general. Really, really tough rebounding spot. I mean, they've not allowed many rebounds to any kind of opposing bigs, specifically the center and power forward position. But I think for him, man, it's just, again, a product of the line's just a little bit closer to what his average is, and the pace, total, all that stuff doesn't really bode well for him. So I like it. He's been one of our favorite unders to play in the second half of the season, and if he goes over, it is what it is, but he's going to have to show me.
Yeah, for real. Like you said, the injury changed his whole season since then. And then if you look at that one game, he had 7 assists. That was easy. That's against that first Troy, whatever, ranked 14th out of the the 16 in that spot. So it's like that doesn't even count. And then you look at the next one, Vanderbilt. Yeah, they're decent, but like Coach was telling us that day, like they don't really hold down bigs that well, and he still couldn't get over. Now we're going Iowa with the slow pace. Give me that. I love cheering against him.
Oh, no, man. Honestly, this feels like another great play and something to also, kind of look at. Again, these teams have already played twice this season, had 17 PRA in both games, and that was with more elevated minutes. I mean, that was in 32 and 35 minutes, which, yes, we saw this last game. He did play 34 minutes, so probably looking at something in that similar range, 33, 34 minutes, wouldn't be surprised. But still, that was a normal game for him, and he just could not perform. So nothing's different here. They're going to play him the exact same way. Dare Hoiberg and Sanford to beat him, and I think that's the best game plan.
Yeah, and also remember last game that he started the game with 3 threes. He was 3 for 3 from 3, still couldn't go over. It was looking scary in the first half, and then he turned back into his old self and just shit the bed. So I love it. They don't look for him like to score. He's not the guy they go to. It'll be slow. That's the thing in these type of games. They're going to go to their stars at the end pretty much. So hopefully, he'll stay right under there. 23.5 is high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Iowa's got some pretty big boys, too. So it's not going to be like these last 2 games where there's a smaller, defender on the other side trying to hold them down. They play really good defense inside the paint. They have all season long. And if he hits a couple threes, that could be unfortunate. But I still think, we saw it this last game. Like you said, he went 3 of 3 from 3 to start the game and only ended with 13 points. So it's nothing is a guarantee with this guy whatsoever. And as long as the rebounds and assists kind of stay at bay, I just don't see the scoring upside coming from him.
Yeah, man. And that's the cool thing about college basketball, too, is that these bookies are just kind of giving us this value here that they would never give us in NBA. They would not be letting this happen. So hopefully they keep it the same, and we just keep riding this trend of the unders and make it happen here. Hopefully some people can follow along and take some bookie money, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, and then real fast on the other side, we got Cam with his PRA as well. This is something I was a little bit on the fence about, but kind of going down the rabbit hole here, especially seeing the previous 2 games they played. Felt pretty strong about. He's another player, again, playing volatile amount of minutes. I mean, we saw him 23, 21, and 21 minutes. So, yes, he does get into a bit of foul trouble, but also, I mean, he's just so sporadic with his scoring. I mean, we've had plenty of games where he goes out and he can show out, put up double digits, and then we got a couple stinkers in here where he's putting up 1 or 4 or 6 or something like that. So very, very volatile in that regard. Actually had one of his better scoring, air quotes here, scoring matchup or scoring games in this matchup where he only put up 6 points. But rebounds, really, really lackluster for him. I mean, Bro gets maybe 1 assist a game. I pencil him down for 1 at best. But rebound line still just, I mean, too high for him. They rotate a lot of these players out too, which has also been kind of sweet for our unders. Playing, a player who doesn't play anything more than 25 minutes is great. But not an easy matchup for him. He's going to have his hands full with Mass and company on the other side. And he's been struggling to close the game out too. That's another thing I really noticed with him is sometimes he's on the court and sometimes he's not. When he does play in the closing unit, he's closer to 24 to 26 minutes. It's usually 26, 28 minutes, somewhere in that marker. But if he's not closing the games, dude might be lucky to play 24 minutes tops. So I think this is another great spot for us. A player who doesn't offer any kind of a 3-point upside. So if they do get behind, they're not going to be looking for him to, shoot any kind of volume whatsoever. And really for him, it's these offensive putbacks that he's only kind of thrived in to be able to score. Not a good matchup for that. I mean, he had 1 game with 2, a little bit better, but also the other game he had 0. So not something I think that is very sustainable for him. And it also doesn't really translate to any kind of production. I mean, we saw the last 2 games, he had 4 offensive rebounds, but only put up 1 in 6 points. So nothing is a guarantee with this guy. And I think, again, hit rating being something pretty massive, but also just the fact that he doesn't play that many minutes. I'll take a shot on somebody who plays under 25 minutes any day.
For real. And he has no 3-point shot. And we know, the Nebraska way of defense, they give up a lot of threes. He's not going to hurt us there. So we won't be scared. He's not going to take more than 5 shots. I mean, it looks good. It looks real good. He's only going to play 20 minutes. We saw he didn't finish the game last time when they were, really in that situation. I think they like Fogel out there a little more with the 3-point shot that he has, especially from the last game. So that's why I wanted to stay off Fogel a little bit. But I like this one, man. I like this one that you found. This one's cool. This one, he looks like the guy, the last guy, that they're leaving out at the end. So I'm cool with this a lot. I think we'll have a good shot. He's going to have to get really lucky and hit, 4 or 5 from the field or something to beat us. So, and even then he might not get there.
Yeah, man. It's just, the recipe for beating Nebraska has always been from 3. So I think, like you mentioned with Fogel, he's going to be something of the second unit that's really going to have to step it up. And then, Sturts will probably go out and be ripping it from 3. Banks played really well this last game too. So I think both you and I were kind of scared on taking his unders, especially with the minutes that he played too. But for the rest of these guys, if you ain't Sturts, if you're not Koch, and whoever the other player is, oh my God, I'm totally blanking on that. Everybody else, their minutes are completely random from night to night.
Yeah.
Maybe they 28 minutes if they're playing really well, scoring really well. And then if you're not, coach is probably playing you 20 to 23 minutes, 24 minutes tops.
For real. You're thinking of Combs, maybe? Combs doesn't play a lot either.
Combs. Yeah, he's one of the other ones that's just kind of lumped into the rotation.
The cool thing about that is, though, he played 33 last game and he played 30 the game before. So that's why I think they're phasing this dude out a little bit here in these close games and these games that really, really matter. So that's why I love that you landed on this one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Felt like a good click.
There's nothing better than having an under and seeing the dude get taken out and the game's over and he's not even involved. There's nothing better. Like, those are the unders to take if we can find the right values, which we try to do here with Estrella. Maybe, hopefully, he won't end the game. He might, actually. But Cam, we know, won't. Fogel did last game, but sometimes he wasn't. But if you can find those ones, those are, oh my goodness, those are the ones.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, man. So the next one, rebound one you found for Texas, going against Purdue. I mean, that one looks really good too. That's too high.
Yeah. So before we move on to that one, let's knock out these 2 plays for Q Donkey real fast. And then also, if you had one, or you said you had one as well, if we wanted to kind of look at that.
Yeah. Big David, like you and Coach were talking about, I looked at it right now while we were on here, and I'm like, if you all Big David at 26.5, boy, he's not getting that against Houston. I mean, we saw him get it now a few games in a row, and he thought he was the man, but this is different.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, let's talk about him here real fast. So Phylon is an interesting one. Obviously, we saw this last game. I mean, Bama just went out and absolutely shot the lights out from three in their first half. Really didn't have to do a whole lot. Texas Tech thankfully kind of made it somewhat of a ball game in the second half, but the game was pretty much over in the first half. So I will say Phylon very much so chilled for the rest of the game. He went out and put up 7 points pretty early and then basically just did nothing scoring wise for the rest of the game. Obviously, as you can see, with only ending in 9 points. Racked up some hella RA though, and I do think the assist for him is still something that is potentially live. You know, he could go out easily, put up another 6-7 assists. Wouldn't be too shocked to see that. But scoring, I think, scoring wise is really the biggest sweat for him. You know, we do know with Holloway being out, he's obviously going to be the 1A and probably basically the 1B of the team. He's going to shoot a lot, man. I have no doubt he's probably going to go out and put up a good 18-plus field goal attempts in this matchup. Is it an easy matchup? No, not by any means. The best way to beat Michigan, though, is from three. So let's kind of, take that for what it is. He is pretty decent three-point shooting. Right tail as well, probably more live to take a couple more threes in this matchup too, but those guys are really going to be the 1A, 1B for this scoring-wise potential for Alabama. Now, I do think the RA downside could be pretty nice for this matchup. Yeah, the last 2 games look a little scary. We had crappy school and ended up being a blowout against Texas Tech. But if you look at the rest of the season, I mean, on a great day, Phylon maybe has 8-9 RA in total. I think the rebounds also for him come way back down to earth. Michigan does not allow rebounding, period, but especially not to opposing guards. The assists going to be a little bit more, murky because we just don't have a lot of overall sample size with Holloway being out. But I do think his points still fairly high. I'm kind of surprised his PRA ended up moving up and his points went down, so that's kind of weird. But I do like it.
I just noticed something crazy because I was looking. I'm like, man, this is kind of high. I do kind of like it. I definitely would lean there. We know how Michigan is. We did see them give up some threes to Robbie. That was pretty annoying. But we know that they have given up. They have given up ass sometimes, and they will trick us. I like it better when it's big guys, that we can go under against them. But I will say, bro, I'm looking on Underdog here, and if you alt Phylon to 24.5 points, it's 0.94. I'm not saying it's going to hit for sure, and it's a little scary because it's Phylon, but 25 points? He needs 25 points, and it's 0.94. That looks like an error almost. I mean, I see that he's gone over all these different games, and yes, all that extra. This is Michigan, though. I don't think they're going to allow him to just drive through them and do whatever he wants.
No, I mean they're definitely going to make things more difficult. He's not going to be able to get downhill nearly as frequent.
But do you see that though? That's got to be an error. How can it be 0.06 less for 2 more points? That's huge. That's huge.
I wonder if he is supposed to be at 23.5 points because he was 24 and 23.5 points this last game. So
yeah, but this is Michigan. I don't know.
Now, with that being said, I'm just curious what that PRA is looking like. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, they are giving us a lot of options for him. I'm kind of surprised even the 37.5 goes all the way up to a 0.7. That's insanely high for him.
True. That is true. 25 at 0.94, bro, to me seems crazy, though.
Why do they have Holloway as a game time decision? This dude's definitely not playing. Yeah, so I mean, he's only gone over this line twice with Holloway being out. I mean, truthfully, his biggest upside is going to be from scoring. So I am a little bit nervous in that regard because all these games, I mean, you can see 22 points, 22, 29, 20, 26, 29, and then this last game.
Which ones were against Michigan, though?
No, I mean, that's true. Only comparable ones would be like Tennessee and Clemson, which, I mean, are good defenses in their own right. But so it really just depends on how how much game planning is Michigan doing to just shut Phylon down, which I think would make the most sense. Really, just
They
put as
better.
much help coverage on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
He could-
we saw.
We were watching him last game, and I had his alt points, and so I watched him a little harder than normal, and I was like, man, this dude, I mean, he's really good, don't get me wrong, but he's pretty small, he's pretty skinny in comparison. Michigan's not going to let him just do whatever he wants to do, because, you know, a lot of times he'll drive to the hole and get fouled. That'll be a big part of his game. I don't see him being able to do that over and over and over like he probably did in these other games where he goes over. Still, I am worried, though, because he is really good and he can score, and there's no one else to do it on his team, so he might try to take over. I feel all that, but I think that 24.5 is definitely worth a stab at that if they're going to give us that 0.94. That's a crazy payout.
No, that's definitely some kind of oversight on their part. I'm curious if they already have him kind of pre-baked for a bump line, so he, ends up moving up to 23.5, and then their typical alt line usually goes up by 2, so maybe that line isn't going to be there, or they're just going to bump him all the way up to 24.5.
Oh no, I don't think so. That'd be crazy. That would be insane. I don't think they're going to. I see John.
Yeah, it's a little wild. Hey, what's up, man?
12 likes, guys.
Now,
12 likes. We need 3.
Hey,
we need 3.
will say, yes, 3 more, please. The PRA is pretty appealing, just in the regard of, we know it's a more difficult rebounding matchup, but also, I mean, you look at who is he passing the ball to? Like, who's going to be a consistent scorer?
I don't know how he got 12 assists or whatever. 9 assists. What'd he get? 12 assists?
Yeah, 12 assists
Who
last
the
game.
heck? Texas Tech, what were you doing? That was weird.
I mean, the team was just hitting all kinds of threes. Basically anybody under the sun that was taking a three was just landing them. But is that going to happen in this game? I don't think so, honestly. I mean, both Wrightsell, Sherrill, and Amari Allen, I mean, they hit a couple this last game. But outside of Wrightsell, the two different bigs, they're really sketchy shooters, also having to deal with Mara and Yaxel. Not going to be easy in that regard.
I like it.
I like
it. I like them both, bro. I like that 24.5, and then Q Donkey brought up the PRA like you're talking about. I like that too. Like that is just high against Michigan. That's high, bro. I just picture Michigan's defense. Just like I was picturing Robbie. It's like, man, you got to be on another level to get through Michigan. And you have nobody to help you.
Yeah, that being the biggest thing.
It's scary, man. I don't see how he's going to get that PRA. It's going to have to be just another crazy good shooting game for Alabama for him to get there. I think it feels that way. I would go on that side of things and definitely put my money on that side of it. You never know what's going to happen in sports, but I really like that thought process here. Just game script wise. Yes, if you look at his numbers, it looks scary, but if you look at this team and you visualize how this game's really going to go, I don't know, man. They could get busted too. It could be a bad one. I don't even know what the spread is. Do you?
10.5.
Oh, okay. So they think they're going to get busted too.
Yeah.
And
Wouldn't be surprised.
Michigan is up pace, so they do give up scoring sometimes, but really their defense is real good. And man, I don't know. We're going to have a fast game. They are going to score a lot. That's the scary part. It's the only scary part. But still, bro, that line's high. High. Too high.
Yeah, 175.5 total is pretty damn insane. But, I mean, still, he's just going to have to be either extremely efficient or getting to the free throw line a lot. I'm also not mad at this 28.5 PR. I think this is also a very, very solid look. Wouldn't be surprised to see the rebounds get bumped down to 3.5 here. Because, I mean, look at 4.5. Like, bro's not even close to getting this in the season.
I know. Why did he get so many in those last couple games? That's why I was confused. Is he doing something different?
No, I mean, Texas just shot unbelievably bad in that last game, and then they had a pretty easy matchup against Hoff. So I'm not too surprised there.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with any of it. I feel you. PR might be the spot, really. But either way,
So his rebounding, he's only gotten there in 2 competitive games this season. So I mean, this was blowout, blowout, blowout. Had 5 against Auburn, 5 against Oklahoma. Which I mean, these are still kind of pace up spots or neutral pace as it is. But I mean, another blowout against Arizona. They got blown out. I'm really surprised that he had 10 rebounds. Like that's obviously an anomaly in its own self. And then another blowout game right after that. So these competitive games, though, here in the middle, I mean, he's really only getting like 4 rebounds on a good day.
be honest, man. That might be the one.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that, man. It is Phylon, so hey, if he busts our ass, we know because it's him, but
Yeah,
still, it's
that's
pretty
okay.
high.
It's still a good line, and it's good value to go under with this matchup. I think the assist is crazy because, or sorry, the PR is crazy because he's only supposed to get 4.5 juice on the under, and his PR is 28.5, and his points are 22.5. They're too high there, so that's even better.
Yeah, I like this one. I think if we had to pick
Yes.
from just a straight bet perspective, or your standard for prize picks, but
Yes.
even the PRA, I think totally fine to alt this up, go to 35. Is it
like
even
it.
worth alting it up?
No, I mean, you can't even alt the PR. So I was looking on looking on Hot Streak right here. Let's see what Hot Streak gives us. Q Donkey's got something here. Let's see, what does he say? 175 total is crazy, as well as getting down to business. These dudes are really going to be playing defense. Yeah, man. I feel it. I feel that Michigan is going to just do what I thought they were going to do last game. They just let Robbie do too much. But you saw how they were kind of in there playing the game. It was close for the first 10 minutes of the game. And then they were like, nah, we're Michigan. You're just St. Louis. Alabama's good, but they're not on that level, especially without Holloway. It should be pretty one-sided. So I like that a lot. But that PR, bro, I think you're onto something with that. I'm looking on a Hot Streak right now. Let's see what we can do. 28.5. Nice. That's where they have it. You can go up to, oh boy. Oh, this is nice. You can go to 30.5 PR, 1.44. It's not bad.
Oh, that's the one right there.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 game difference between the two.
And we got
Oh no,
Michigan.
shit, more than that actually.
I just love the Michigan factor. I look at those lines and be like, who did he get there against? Nobody, and nobody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Arizona was the only good defense matchup. But again, that's him with 10 rebounds.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one. I think that one's got to go on the list actually.
30.5, 1.44. I'm with it.
Yep, and again, totally fine with the 28.5. I think that one is easily just justifiable. If we're talking other regular lines, though, might have to still pivot to the PRA because that hit rating's a little bit harder to ignore.
I'm down with either of them. If we want to stay on underdog, we can just alt that PRA up or leave it, whatever. Either way.
Yeah.
Either way. But I mean, if you can alt this PR to 30.5, I mean, 33.5 PRA there is a lot scarier. 30.5 PR is like, bro, you're gonna have to score 25 points again, at least.
Yeah. Yep. And if he's scoring that much, he's definitely not putting up, 10, 12 assists, something like that. So at least that portion will level out. I do agree with you. I think the assist potential for him is probably our scariest, way we could backdoor lose the prop here. But yeah, the PR looks fantastic. So either one of those lines, again, I'm totally fine with the regular 28.5, but that 30.5 is probably a full unit.
All right, I'm gonna put it on there right now. 1.44x on hot streak is probably, we'll call it a point, what, 7.2, I think, something like that. I'll just split it in half. It's probably about close enough. There we have it. Let's move that up.
Sweet.
Let's move that up. Let's put that
Yeah.
here. What do you think? Right
Very. Let's see where we at. Right there in the middle. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. We love all these plays equally.
Yeah, pretty much, for real. They're all good.
All right. Well, let's look at, we got Tremont Mark, 4.5 rebounds. Why are you at 4.5 rebounds? That's a regular line too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's 0.81, I think, or something.
Yeah, I mean, that one, honestly, I don't mind. Purdue doesn't really give up a whole hell of a lot of rebounds, just in general.
They really don't. I looked at this one too. I was just a little scared in general of rebounds, just the ball bouncing a certain way and then we lose. It's just been a little more painful than the PRAs, I think. You know, I almost wanted to say, the rebound ones, when it's 4 and 5 rebounds, it's like some bad luck can just roll your way just sometimes a little more than the other ones, I think.
Yeah. Because honestly, the only scary part per se is if Fletcher Lawyer is shooting a bunch of threes and he's not connecting, or if even Braden, you know, we saw this last game, he was lobbing up a bunch of threes. That, I think, is our only unknown kind of variable that we have to consider here. But if they do their usual plan, it's hard to say because we're taking TKR under. And if we assume that he is not having a good game, there's a real good chance that the guards are probably shooting a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm scared of this one.
Could he stay under? I think yes. I mean, season long, we've seen him only 77% to stay under.
He probably will. I mean, it does make sense. It's in a good spot to do it. I just get a little worried when it's do or die games for these guys, you know? And he could play extra minutes because it's their last game. Who knows? Or they could get blown out. But I feel like these type guys, the coach going to leave them in. And that scares me for rebounds.
Yeah, he's playing 31 to 35 minutes this game for sure. Unless they just get absolutely waxed, and maybe he cuts it down to 28, something like that. But yeah, they should be out there. Truly, I think we're just sweating the long ball potential. If he's in the vicinity for that could be quite obnoxious. But if they get, Dylan Swain active a little bit more there, he could gobble up a few of these rebounds, or even Pope for that matter. I don't mind it. I think this is a very fair play. 77% looks solid. I mean, the matchup warrants it. Mm-hmm. It really just depends on which of the two guards they end up sticking him on. If he's guarding Braden, I'd be a little bit worried. If he's guarding Lawyer, I love it because Lawyer's only going to take threes, so we know he's going to drag him out to the 3-point line.
That's true. I like it too. I'm just a little scared. I feel it though. I wish it was a little bit better payout so we could drop it to 5.5. Then I'd be all in.
Yeah, for real, man. Definitely not sweating his assists or points. I mean, he's been a bucket lately, so I probably leave that alone. But and also, this would be the kind of negative correlation with our other play that we're going to talk about here in this game for Matthias or Matis. His under rebounds as well. Now, somebody is going to hit the rebound line. We know this, but there's a real good chance 3 out of these 5 guys could totally stay under. Now, Purdue's been extremely good about limiting opposing centers. Oscar, he's a very high efficiency shooter when he is shooting. TKR also has been very efficient, doesn't really miss that many, mid-range options. They've been getting to the glass a lot, getting to the free throw line a lot lately too, so that is something also kind of bodes well in our favor. I think if I had to pick, though, the players from Texas to stay under rebounds, it would be these 2 guys. Now, Swain, he floats a little bit more around the paint, very live to go out and put up, 9+ rebounds. I didn't exactly want to mess with his rebound under, but it is still fairly high. He's at 7.5. But this one just made a lot more sense. I mean, look at it so far this season. He stayed under in 25 out of the 35 games thus far. Last two games were pretty solid. We know Gonzaga basically only has Ike, so no surprise there. He got a couple extra rebounds. And then BYU, same situation, Devonstum, and he pretty much just collapsed on him as much as possible and ended up scooping up a couple extra rebounds there as well. He also had 9 offensive rebounds, so clearly an anomaly in that situation for the BYU matchup. But normal day, 2-3 offensive rebounds at best. I don't expect him to have 4 or 5, so keep that in check. And then you look at the defensive rebounding as well. Pretty sporadic in some of these games, but on a normal day, I mean, you're talking 5 defensive rebounds, maybe 6. I do not think he's getting 7. They're not going to allow him to have quite that many, but still just too high of a line for him. Not the best matchup. And for him, also easy getting into foul trouble. I mean, we've seen many, many games where he only goes out and plays 25, 26 minutes. They essentially just move everyone down. Swain kind of plays a little bit more at the 4. And, it is what it is. But in the games that he's not playing these really accelerated minutes, you're 33, you're 35, the prop margin for him has been way, way lower. So I'm going to take a gamble on that. I think it's a perfect spot for it. Again, they've just been really limiting, especially the centers and forwards, staying under. We've only seen 2 people over the last month now who've been able to excel in these rebounds. And even both of them, we still only had one hit 9 and one had 8. So if we're talking 9 or more rebounds, I mean, there's only been one single guy over the last month now. Got to take my chances on that. Got to take my shot, especially if he goes down and plays 25, 26 minutes or golden.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Great find. Amazing. I would never have looked at it. You said, this guy, boo. So, whoa, I forgot about him. 8.5. And I love how he got 16 and 9 the last 2 games, making everyone look at that and like, oh, yeah. No. Wrong matchups. And this is totally different. So I'm stoked on this one. Can it miss? Yes, it can. Is it betting? Yes, it is. But I'm definitely on that side. I love that.
Yeah, he's been more of an offensive threat for this team all season long. Their rebounds kind of is what it is, but they do rebound a lot by committee. So that, you're Swain, him. I mean, we've seen Mark even with 4 rebounds in a lot of these consecutive games down the stretch. So I think he's going to be needed on offense, but Clough, again, he's a big boy. He's going to be able to hold his own, and I think they just continue to box out the centers like they have, and he gets into foul trouble. It's going to be all over but the crying.
Yes, sir.
But Q Donkey, not mad at the 4.5 rebounds for Mark under well.
I'm not either. I feel like I said I didn't like it too fast, but I'm still scared. But I definitely could see it hitting. He could be at halftime with 0 or 1 rebound and being like, dang, that was a good play. But that's what it is, man.
All right, so let's look at David. We got Illinois with the Houston matchup. We know this is one of the nightmare matchups for most teams. Houston especially been really good about limiting interior scoring. Now, I will say to David's credit, he does offer a 3-point shot, so he's a little bit more of a mixed bag, getting to the free throw line, getting to the 3-point shots. This would be my only concern for him by and large. If he gets hot from 3, it's kind of unfortunate. His scoring upside goes up quite a bit more. But his rebounding, very sporadic. I think this is a great potential under. I'm kind of surprised they have him at 7.5. Yeah, his shit is all over the place. We got 7.5 on a few sites, and it goes all the way up to 8.5, which I think this is way too high for him. Not mad at this under either. He's been a little bit more hungry on the glass for these few games, but last game with a blowout, no surprise. They ended up playing just 23 minutes, but still a player who not very consistent for hitting this marker. I'm not mad at the rebound downside for him. The playmaking has come up a little bit more for him, so that is kind of scary. Some of this also is translated with Stojakovic playing better off the bench too. Boswell in the starter. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing lately, but it's pretty much just been him and Wagler as far as playmaking. So kind of surprised he's at 2.5 assists, but I think fair. Yeah, man, that rebound downside for him could be something. What is his PR? His PR's 21.5, and his PRA's 23.5. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, that was with the 24.5 line. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense, but I'm not mad at it, man. I mean, this is going to be a real test of time for him. if he can't get that 3-point shot going, and we saw in this Michigan matchup, he had 10 rebounds, which still I think is way too high for him. But that was a huge pace-up spot, so you got to take that for what it is as well. Some of these more recent games, still pretty healthy pace. BCU is the closest thing I would say to our Houston standard as far as pace goes. And yes, they did blow him out, but still, he only had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So I'm not mad at this. I'm a little bit scared, mostly just from the 3-point shooting. But take away that, I mean, his numbers are still a little bit too high.
I just played it on Hot Streak. F it. LeBaron, Phylon, 30.5 under PR. David, 26.5 PRA under 1.92. Or, yeah, 1.92 is how they do it. But basically plus 100. Close enough. 100 to win 92 or something like that. Yeah, 100 to win 92. Not mad at that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I am curious if they're going to end up moving David and Wagler up a little bit. So the books are a little bit torn between their lines. David was at 13.5 points on some, 14.5 points on some others, 23.5 PRA, 24.5 PRA. Wagler's the more interesting one because his lines were definitely quite off. I mean, he's at 24.5 PRA, which is, on any other matchup, we would be jumping all over that. But also his 14.5 points is extremely low. I feel like this maybe is one that we can kind of sit on for a little bit and see how the field reacts to it, because I can't imagine too many people are taking the under for either one of these guys, especially looking at the last 10 games or so. There's going to be a lot of green bars for both of them. So we could wheel maybe an adjusted line where we see David's like 14.5 points. Wagler should be at least 15.5 points. I know Bet365 had him at 16.5. But I do think he should be higher than 14.5 points. So when is this game? Is it Friday? It's Thursday, actually. Okay. So let's stick a pin in this one for now. I don't think he's bumping down. I'm pretty confident not going to bump down. But he could. I think the points could bump back up.
I don't think the PRA is going to bump up. That would be pretty weird. But never know. I don't know. Houston's a little different than any other team. They kind of got that. They got that reputation. Even people who just look at the last 5. I know it looks crazy, but I feel like that's the one team that people do know about. So I don't know, man. And it's already juice on the under here at 24.5. So I don't know. I locked it in already. If it goes up, boy, give me more.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. I feel you. I'm not mad at it. This was this matchup. I mean, they just have everyone so low right now. It's kind of hard to stomach taking the unders for that. I mean, see, man, even his fantasies at 26 flat. That's kind of crazy. Not mad at it. Not in love with it, but not mad at it.
I'm almost in love with it. I just don't see him doing this to Houston. I just don't see it. I'd be very surprised. I do have Illinois in my final game, and I do have Illinois beating Houston. So maybe I do see it.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. I think I took Houston to win this one in advance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the more logical thing to do. I just always want to, at least for doing a bracket pool, I always want to have something a little different. And I was like, I'm just going to go with Illinois as my team to do it. It's the only way I can separate myself.
I mean, hey, if you played the underdog teams in the postseason here, you were up so much money.
As usual. It actually seems to be more favorites winning than normal. Usually it's just all crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna post that 2-pick. What do you think?
I'm with it. Fuck it.
Okay.
It's the last couple games of the season, possibly last game for some of these guys. And Houston, if there was a spot to ever take an under, that's another matchup we like to target.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, our time didn't even notice, kind of getting away from us. It is 20 after, so this has been a little extra stream for you guys, keeping on. We are going to be back again the rest of the week. Obviously moving closer towards Thursday, Friday slates will be a lot easier on us. Thursday and Friday, I think streams will be pretty straightforward. The games also, thankfully, are at nighttime, so we don't have any of that daytime shenanigans going on. I think tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit of WNBA as well, just kind of recap a little bit of what's going on thus far and where we're at with everything. And then we'll recap a couple of these plays. If we got any other plays or anything, we'll update the list and keep going from there. But make sure you guys, again, be a part of the Discord. Come check it out. Still run the 7-day free trial. So hop in there. Come win some money with us. Also, NPB opening day is on Friday. So super excited about that as well. But I think that is going to do it for us today. Underrated, you got anything else for us, man?
No, sir. We're at 12 likes. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, afterwards, a few people will check out the stream and get us to that 15 that we need for good luck. I'm pretty sure it'll get to that by tip-off, and we should be good to go. But if you haven't hit the like yet, please do so. It'll only help us. And let's get some money.
Yes, sir. All right, fam. We're going to get on out of here. Nothing really betting-wise going on tonight, so keep it pretty casual the next few days, and then Thursday and Friday we'll be locking in for it. But good luck. We'll catch y'all back here tomorrow, and we'll catch y'all in Discord. Peace.
Fucking prospects!